Thanks for listening to and subscribing to the Inside Deschutes County podcast. Wherever you might be and however you might be listening, be sure to catch us wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also find us on deschutes.org/podcast.
Deschutes County is an amazing place to live,
work, and play.
Great place to raise a family.
I love the weather and the high desert.
At Deschutes County, we provide excellent service.
We're here to help you.
Deschutes County is the heart of Oregon.
Everyone wants to be here.
From the Deschutes Services Building in beautiful and snowy downtown Bend, Oregon, this is episode 1 of the Inside Deschutes County podcast. I'm your host, Eric Breon. My co-host and guest today is the chair of the Deschutes County Board of Commissioners, Tony DeBone. Welcome to our first ever podcast.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have not done a podcast. I've definitely done some recording in my day, low power FM radio, college, and in the community. And I'm on the radio as a guest, as people want to interview me now as a commissioner.
Well, lots to talk to you about.
Yep.
So that's why we're happy that you're the first guest. So thanks for taking the time. We hope to bring this podcast to people monthly. To start, we might evaluate that and see if there's an interest to go weekly or to increase the frequency of these. But we're excited to bring the topics of the things that are going on in Deschutes County and absolutely talk about the people behind the county and the work that's being done. A lot of good work being done on a lot of different departments. We've got the landfill siting issue. We've got battling the big topic of houselessness and homelessness and everything that goes along with that. And so just health services and COVID and everything. So we've got a lot that I can pick your brain on today. So I'm excited about that. So just a lot of good things happening in the county, and you've been a part of this county for a long, long time, right? You're a South County guy.
So I live in southern Deschutes County. I'm finishing up 12 years and starting my next 4-year term. So I'm working my way to 16 here in Deschutes County. So we've seen a lot of growth ever since I've been in office. And as I say, I do live in southern Deschutes County. Lapine is the kind of the MO, and that's the identity here. But a lot of great connections all around the county. Ben Redmond's sisters in Lapine, and everywhere in between. There's about 6 more things we could mention there. A lot of services at Deschutes County, so let's learn about them together here in the community.
We can absolutely do that. This is a great place to do that, and just exciting topics happening, and let's get to some of the headlines. Talk some of the things making news across the county. I think now's a good time to start talking about those. We got the headline music, Commissioner. Ooh, it's very powerful music too.
And I'm sure you got the headline, but I'm seeing Heather Keisner in here, and she's joining us again. She's coming back.
Yes, we have new people in important positions, and one of those is Heather Keisner. She's now the Deputy Director of Public Health, and you probably have some familiarity with her, right?
Yes, as I say, she was at the county and she went to the state for a while, but now she's back. So when you think of the health department, we break it into 2 parts, behavioral health and public health. So she's coming back as the public health director under Janice Garceau. And, this is the leadership of the health department, big operation, but they do great work over there.
And Holly Harris is now the Deputy Director of Behavioral Health. She's not new to the county, but moving into this role. And so you've probably a lot of dealings with her as well, especially in regards to the stabilization center. And,
that's right.
And just the amazing work that her and her teams have done to tackle some of the issues in our county.
So I want to thank them both for stepping up and congratulate them both. Holly Harris is the behavioral health side of the house under Janice right now. And so we got a great leadership team. Holly's been at the Stabilization Center as the director there, and now the whole behavioral health side. A lot of great services there, and behavioral and mental health, homeless outreach services, a lot of moving parts there too.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, you mentioned her name, but Janice Garceau now in the director position of health services. And so congratulate her on that role. And she's just been an excellent resource for us and the community in helping kind of organize and fill in the gaps while we've been trying to fill these positions, right?
Well, and from my point of view as a commissioner, you see somebody move on, and then all of a sudden somebody moves over, and then somebody has to fill a spot. So it just becomes this opportunity for people to move around. But it looks like we're stabilizing right in. Directors and leadership and department heads. We've gone through quite a flow in the last few years, but it looks really good right now. I'm real happy with
Yeah, and that's got to
everybody
make you
there.
happy, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's got to some consistency there when tackling the funds that come in and how to navigate some of the issues that have come up and a lot of issues in health services. So we'll be sure to probably talk to Janice at some point and maybe Holly and Heather as we grow and evolve this podcast. So courthouse expansion, that's another headline making news, right? Something you're probably heavily involved with.
Yeah, so let's mention Tanya.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
IT director. So as I say, that was a retirement, and we were able to recruit and select Tanya Mahood as director of the IT. She came from OSU Cascade, so we kind of took somebody in town to bring them over to the county. But she's going to be great, a great team there. Ever since I've been a commissioner, I have not had day one problem with my computer. Knock on wood, hopefully
That's
it won't be
always good.
tomorrow. But I'm just saying, year after year, you turn on the computer, you do your work, and everything's there, and the email's working.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't have to call her with the technical stuff
right.
of this podcast either. So.
Well, and the team. As I say, we're
right.
talking about the leadership in each of these departments. A lot of great people underneath every one of these org charts.
Yeah, and it's a heavily internal position, but that has an impact on the public. If we're running smoothly, then we can help the public. So
Absolutely.
we welcome Tanya to the position, and thank you for reminding me about Tanya. Courthouse expansion, right?
Here we go. This is a big one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You know a lot about this, obviously much more than I, but this is going to change the landscape of downtown Bend, right? I mean,
Well, we talk about this in the public meetings. You mean you're not following all the meetings that we're having?
I watch all
So
of them.
interesting. And that is, we're in a spot right now where we're recording and broadcasting every board meeting we have, but they go for hours and hours and hours, right? So since I'm a commissioner and I sit through every one of those hours, I have the information right inside my head. But as I say, if people want to follow the topics, they can do that with our live videos and audio and meeting minutes of all the meetings we have. So getting back to the courthouse, Deschutes County Courthouse. Interesting when you think of the downtown campus. We've got multiple buildings here in this area in downtown Bend, Deschutes County proper services. There's an old 1940s courthouse, the 1970s red brick courthouse. That's what you think of it as today. The 70s red brick courthouse has already been expanded once about early 80s. So it's kind of three versions of the big buildings down there. Now we're going to add the next version. We're going to add kind of a box out to the corner, integrated with the red courthouse.
Right, it's coming out, right? It's coming out to Greenwood for people at home
All the way to
who
the
are
corner.
listening. It's coming all the way out, and that's going to be a big change.
In fact, we have an old stone building for you if you'd like to own a piece of history. We've got the old building needs to be removed from that site.
How is that going to work?
It's a historical structure. In fact, right now we truly have an RFP out. In fact, you could have it for $1 if you want it. But there's requirements of a historical structure. It needs to be moved and reconstructed somewhere else if you follow that path. As I say, if you're ready to follow that path, we can give you a heck of a good deal. If
that's
not,
something else.
we may be doing some other with the facade because it's got hand stacked stone and the arches from 100 and something years ago. But yeah, that old stone building needs to be removed.
And the reason for this space, right? I mean, is this accommodating judges and
So we're going to be adding 4 courthouses. So, and this is going to be about a $40 million project. It's expensive. It's a big deal. But we already have 2 new judges, so we have more judges than courtrooms. Like, we can't leave one judge's name on the courtroom. They have to change them. They have to switch them as they switch courts. So that's a good problem to have, though. We have people at this time. And now we need to build out a courtroom or 2. We're going to build 2 floors, which will build out to 4 courtrooms. We're just going to finish 2 for the current judge load.
And this is an expensive capital project for the county, right? So are asking money from the legislature for this?
Yeah, so right now we wrote a letter and asked for some dollars. But a couple years ago, we asked for the judges, and we told them, we'll get the capital if you give us judges. And now we're going back on that statement from a few years ago because of the inflationary environment. When we said that, we thought it was going to be a $23 to $27 million project. and inflation just made it jump up. So the cost of money and the cost of construction has changed so drastically in a few years. We wrote a letter and say, if you have money, could you send some our way to cover inflationary costs? But it is what it is. We're going to build it either way. Deschutes County for the last 10 years has just basically paid down all internal debt. We still have some bonds that are like for this building we're sitting in right now. There's outstanding debt, but that's just mortgage debt generally. So we have like minimal debt associated with our county. So if we end up taking on some kind of cost of building this building and owing money, it'll be minimal relative to our capacity.
So a $40 million project.
Yep.
And will change the Greenwood bond area considerably.
Yes.
Is kind of pushing that out. So this is something we'll definitely keep tabs on.
It will
as
look like
we
a
move
big
forward.
facade out to the corner. So it will build out that corner. You're right. It isn't going to be a bench, a sign, a small parking lot, and then the steps. It'll be
It's
a
coming out.
wide sidewalk. That's what'll be there. It's
All
going to
right.
be, and then a 3-story building. So I do apologize, but this is what growth looks
No,
like.
that's an exciting project. So we will definitely keep tabs on that, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that in the weeks and months to come.
Yeah.
So one of the big things, and we kind of can jump into our bigger discussion here, and kind of things that are been happening this month in regards to a safe parking site in South Bend. This was going to be a managed homeless camp in partnership with the city of Bend. And this month, commissioners voted 2-1 against moving forward with the project. So this is originally we were going to go forward. Now we weren't. Now we've decided to go in a different direction, not move forward. Can you explain some of the
even
some
your
of the-
understanding? We need to kind of back up here. So it's a really interesting dynamic. We want to do something. City of Bend came up with an idea a couple of years ago. They said, "Hey, how about we all work together on this intractable, complicated problem? We'll start a joint office of homeless management." And this was a couple of years ago. And it'll be great if the county could do it. So that's what the City of Bend came to the county and said, how about we do this together and you guys host it? Jason Kropp, our state representative, put a bill together and said, if we start these efforts, maybe we can have multiple places around the state and we'll get them some money. So now we have $1 million over a 2-year period. And we've hired a director, the Joint Office Homeless Director, Cheyenne Purrington. So that's, some big things going on one side. So now it's March, and we have, new seated counselors and commission here. The seats didn't change at Deschutes County. The seats changed at the city council. Current mayor has a great idea. How about the county just go do this project over here? So basically it was an idea that was handed to us. And this is Friday of the week that it was in the news, and it was pretty big. Monday, we're trying to just contort ourselves into how do we support this? Why would we say no or yes? And I was sitting there, and all 3 of us were there, the commissioners, and the consensus was, okay, we nodded our heads yes, we said the words yes, we said, okay, what does this look like? And then the next morning, it headline, Deschutes County sites homeless camp at this location. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, that was somebody's idea. We didn't do anything other than shrug our shoulders and try to help. So by Wednesday, it's like, no, this is not landing well at all.
So a little clarification for people who might be listening to this and not knowing exactly what we're talking about. This is about 1.5 acres, which was a designated camping area concept kind of just south of the Les Schwab, right? So kind of over off of 97.
Murphy Roundabout.
Murphy Road and
Les Schwab,
Right.
There's that little acre parcel, and then it's an on-ramp onto 97. It's a terrible location in the first place.
And so
And I'm real opinionated about it on Friday after this week.
Absolutely. So, I've a lot of opinions about
Yep.
this, I'm sure, because it's a difficult topic, right? I mean, it's just it's so hard to come up with what is the best plan of attack. And so almost any idea has their pros and cons. And so I know one of the concerns that commissioners had was the neighborhoods, nearby, and there were concerns
Well,
from
so
the
as I say,
neighborhoods, right?
remember I mentioned there's joint office homelessness. We have a structure. We have some money. This thing was totally outside of that structure. It was an email from the new mayor saying, how about you guys go do this? And then we were trying to answer it like, well, I guess if somebody wants us to do, maybe we can help. And then, as I say, so we sheepishly said yes on Monday, but it's not under any structure. It's not part of a bigger plan. I mean, maybe somebody's got an idea in their head, but it's not for the community to see. And it sure triggered a lot of feedback. So we have got to be real careful. But when we say have a plan or we have a structure to make a plan, let's follow it. Let's not just put an idea out there. So we were in a tight spot by that request from the city. City manager was in the room just enthusiastically promoting it.
And there was concerns that the money wasn't going to fund the entire thing, right? I mean, that's probably a concern as well, right?
It's all relative. Do
Yeah.
we charge people something to be there or not? Do we, what level of service do you provide? So, it was mentioned. So think about this. ARPA dollars, American Rescue Plan dollars, come to Deschutes County. Deschutes County says, okay, we want to do good stuff with these dollars. We allocate $1.5 million at the request of the city of Bend to help with homeless management and issues that are going to be in the future. So when they came to us with this concept, they said, how about out of that $1.5 million, you use 100 of it to go do this project? So they're giving us our own money back. I mean, the whole thing really kind of went sideways. And by Wednesday, I'm like, how about we just stop this for now? And I want to help. I am here. We are going to do good things. And, we're going to put some expectations out there and, improve the culture and morale of this whole thing. And I'm saying it in a very generic fashion right now because
So what?
nothing seems to work yet.
Yeah. So, Commissioner, what's next? So, obviously, this plan is stalled out, and so, but there's obviously there's the Hunnell Road issues. There's Juniper Ridge. There's the China Hat. So there's a lot of areas which are hoping to be addressed. So how do we move forward?
So this is-
with the city, with the county, with the state. A lot of ideas, a lot of opinions. Everybody has a lot of background in this and their own ideas as to how to make this work. How do we get there?
So getting there, I mean, this is an ancient problem. There's always going to be a subset of people coming and going, struggling with whatever there are, and there's a whole spectrum of issues to struggle with. I'm going to advocate for absolutely putting a structure around this and leadership. Let's go. Let's make sure we're moving forwards. One of the things that just recently, I'm in that same spot. Recently, I was in a meeting. Gentleman just sharing all of his thoughts. It's like, and just getting passionate about it. But it was all the reasons to say no instead of what can we say yes to. And for whatever reason, people's minds go to maybe their life experience or things they've experienced or seen themselves, and they just want to stop instead of go forwards. It's not going to be pretty. It's not an enjoyable situation to ask somebody who's struggling in a bad situation to move from a location, but we're here to improve your life. And even that implementation, people have such different visions about what you should do. So I don't mind taking a lead on this. I'm going to be front and center on this. In fact, that's probably what happened this week, because we put this structure in, we put people in place. We have a director that's supposed to run the show, and it still ends up on our desk. I don't mind at all. So fine, I'll help lead. I'm going to lead the whole dang thing then.
Well, a lot to talk about on this topic.
We're just getting warmed up now.
I wish we could go for an hour. We try to keep this to about a 20-minute conversation, but these are difficult topics. Do you still enjoy doing this job? You're the longest-running commissioner.
Yeah. Well, currently, so think about this. We've got state leadership, new governor right now. This is March, and she's just a few 2 months into her position. State legislative is happening, and there's just opinions all over this. My goal, I'm motivated, I'm excited, I'm not intimidated by any of this. Let's have some fun, let's move forward and do good things. Once again, there's this big tranche of money coming from the state that they're talking about giving us $14 million. So now everybody's focused on that. I don't know if we're going to really get anything done on the ground all of a sudden. So we need to get real focused and focus on what we want to do and why we want to do it and stop all the extraneous information around it. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm excited and ready to go.
What's one thing that you're looking? Obviously, this is a tough topic to handle. We can table this one and talk about that another day.
Let's switch gears. Okay.
We could switch gears. And is there something that you're excited about that just coming up that you're just like, man, this is something that the county really needs to know about? The courthouse project's exciting for a lot of reasons, but is there something else that's like out there that you're like, man?
Yeah, I think of the big picture. We live in interesting times, and these are challenging times too. And this is a time of change. Not everybody likes change. I found out that I don't mind change, as in I'm not looking to change today, but when I changed career, when I moved across the country, when I met my wife and we left Hawaii and ended up back here where she grew up, I kind of get excited on big change. The future is bright. We still live in a great place. We do live in a great place here. Low cost of energy, high-speed internet, home delivery. I mean, the world is changing so fast. Some people really don't like that, but other people thrive on it. So that's my big picture. I don't mind the change this fast right now.
And lots of things coming our way. We've got next month is probably prescribed fire burns. Next month we'll have Commissioner Phil Chang join us, and Forester Kevin Moriarty and Sarah Worthington from Health Services. We'll be talking fire. We'll be talking smoke. We'll be talking people's health, and so that's just around the corner. Could have an impact on a lot of people in Deschutes County.
Well, it could be next week, so you might be talking about last week's smoke by the time
that's
next
right.
podcast.
And of course, it's difficult talking about it as we have almost a foot of snow on the ground this week. So, lots of things coming on, and so we're just excited to be able to bring it to you on this platform. Thank you for joining us and talking quickly about some of the big things happening in the county, and we're just excited to share these topics and to dig into these things and really get this stuff out for a lot of people. So
Inside Deschutes County Podcast, Episode 1. I wonder how many will get done by the time I'm out of office. We'll see.
We will definitely see about that. We will definitely see about that. Well, if you have a question about this podcast or ideas for future podcasts, you can email us at info@deschutes.org. And remember to subscribe to the Inside Deschutes County podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, right?
I do.
Wherever you listen to your
contact
podcasts.
information real quick. So I am a Deschutes County Commissioner. I'm available all day, every day. I might not be able to answer, but desk phone number 541-388-6568. Email is tonyd@deschutes.org.
Perfect. And then about this podcast, info@deschutes.org. If you have ideas, questions, comments, concerns, feel free to share them with me, and we will do our best to see if we can't get some of those topics on the air or answer maybe some of your questions on these podcasts. So next month, Commissioner Phil Chang, Forester Kevin Moriarty, and Sarah Worthington. Until next time, be safe.